Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you can tell from the title of this video, today I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup using just Makeup Revolution products, which if you didn't already know, Makeup Revolution is a brand that you can get in Superdrug and it's super inexpensive. So their stuff ranges from anywhere between sort of like £1 and £2 up to, I would say, like their most expensive item is probably still under £10. So you can get a full face of their makeup for very cheap. Quite often on my channel I'm using a lot of kind of high-end, more expensive products, so I thought it'd be quite nice to kind of flip that today and use some more inexpensive drugstore products. And Makeup Revolution is a really lovely brand. A lot of their products, even though they're very inexpensive, they're still amazing. There are like one or two products that I don't have to complete the full face. For example, I don't have the concealer and I don't have a bronzer. By the way, what the hell is going on with my skin at the moment? Honestly, my skin has never looked worse than this. I'm breaking out so badly and I have no idea why, and it's really stressing me out because I literally never ever get spots. Like, if you know me personally, you will know that I never get spots. And now I am so spotty, like, what the fuck? Literally. What the hell? But anyways, we're going to cover it all today with makeup. Let's get straight into it. I'm just going to prep my skin with some moisturiser. I'm not using a Makeup Revolution moisturiser or any of their skincare. I don't actually own any of their skincare. I'm just using my own Amber Release moisturiser today. I'm going to be using their kind of full coverage foundation, and I have used it once before because I've had it for a little while now, but I actually really didn't like it when I first used it. So it'll be interesting today for me to see if I sort of like it again, because obviously sometimes you have to give products more than one sort of try before you make a decision whether you like them or not. I just found that it really was quite cakey on me, the foundation, and it broke up a lot around my mouth. I'm using a slightly lighter moisturiser today than I did before, so hopefully it won't break up on my skin. Right, and I'm not going to be using a primer or anything because I generally don't really use primers from any brand, so I don't own a primer from Makeup Revolution. I'm a believer that if you've got a good moisturiser, then that's kind of like a primer. Like, you don't really need an extra primer. So I'm going to go straight in with foundation. The foundation that I've got is the like really famous one. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. This is the one that like everyone talks about on Instagram and everything like that. It's got a big fat doe foot applicator. I have this in the shade F6, which I believe is quite dark for me, but I do have tan on at the moment, so that is actually quite a good thing. I'm just going to draw this all over my skin. It's not the most hygienic applicator ever, but I'm not completely mad at it. Also has a really weird sound. It smells quite weird actually. It smells kind of like the dustbin, if that makes any sense. I know that's not a very pleasant smell. Maybe mine's gone off. What the hell? It literally smells like a dustbin. I'm not even joking. Like a very light dustbin scent, which is not ideal. It's not really what I want to be putting on my face, but anyway. Right, I think I've probably put too much on, you know, because it's actually supposed to be full coverage. So let me just stop there. I'm just going to blend. Oh, shut up. Just going to blend that in with a beauty blender. It is actually quite light, so I don't know why I thought this was dark for me, because I do have tan on at the moment, so I might have to darken this up. I see so many people raving about this foundation, and I used it, like I said, once, and I just didn't like it at all, and I haven't used it again since. And I kind of want to know what all the fuss is about. So hopefully today, with a different moisturiser underneath, it works better for me. Hopefully it oxidises as well, this foundation, because oh my god, this is actually really pale. That is like full coverage. Wow, I don't remember it being this full coverage. Still hasn't covered that absolute monster that I've got coming out there though. Honestly, what the hell is happening to my skin? Right, as I said, oh my god, I look so pale. What the hell? I thought this was dark for me, this foundation, but clearly it's not. My face is actually lighter. Why is that so loud? My face is actually lighter than my body. We'll have to go in with a lot of bronzer. Right, as I said, I haven't got the concealer. I used to have it and I really like it. So we know that that's good. But I'm going in with the e.l.f. one, just because this is what I've got at the moment. This one is like, I would say kind of similar to the Revolution one anyway, in the sense that it's literally the same packaging for one thing, and it's very full coverage, and it's also quite matte. I had actually 2 of the Revolution concealers and I ran out of both of them, and I didn't realise that when I sat down to film this video. So Right, so as I said, I don't have a Revolution bronzer, unfortunately. I have this Revolution blush palette and highlighter palette, which I'm going to be using in a second, but unfortunately, I completely forgot as well to pick up a bronzer. Why is this video such a fail? Sorry about that. So, I'm just going to quickly jump off camera. I am literally sure there is a ghost in my house. I just had the biggest bump upstairs. Anyways, I'm just going to quickly jump off camera and do some bronzer, really bronze up this face because I look like a ghost. So I'm going to do that off camera because I don't have a Revolution one, and then I'm going to come back to finish off the rest of the face. Right, so I'm back. I've just bronzed up my skin and then just put literally the tiniest bit of my Charlotte Tilbury magic powder under my eyes. I'm not going to be powdering my whole face because this foundation is so full coverage and it's also quite matte. And just looking in the mirror, I can already kind of see it sitting kind of in my smile lines, which I have that problem with a lot of foundations anyway, but usually it takes them a lot longer to sit in my smile lines than this. So I'm slightly concerned that by the end of the day, I'm going to literally look like the Joker. But yeah, we will see. I can already tell that it's not kind of like my favourite. It does look quite cakey on my skin, I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, I used the Hourglass Sheer Colour Trio, the bronzer shade in here, which is a cream bronzer, to bronze my skin, and then on top I just used a little bit of the Guerlain Terracotta bronzer. Yeah, so that's what I use for bronzer. I'm now going to go in and do blush. So for that I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution blush palette in the shade Sugar and Spice, which looks like this. It's a really pretty blush palette actually. I really like these colours along the top especially. So I'm going to go in and be boring. I'm just going to go in with the most basic kind of like pale blush, which is the one at the top. I really love kind of muted pink blushes. I really don't like too bright blushes on me because I'm so pale. They just make me look so like clown-like. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that one. These blushes are really pigmented, so you've got to be quite careful that you don't put on too much. Right, now for highlight, I've actually got this eyeshadow palette. This one is in the shade Flawless 4 and it looks like this. So you get some really nice kind of more pinky shades in here. I'm actually going to use this top shade here as my highlighter today. I don't really want to use the blush palette highlight because it's kind of like a very purpley kind of iridescent tone and it doesn't really look the best on my skin tone because I'm quite fair. So I'm going to go in with the second shade from the palette here, which is this one, as my highlight. I'm going to use this on quite sort of a light hand because I don't know how pigmented it's going to be. Oh wow, it's actually really nice. A little bit more blue undertone than what I wanted it to be, but it's actually a really nice little highlight. Right, now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow, and I am going to be using the same palette, the Flawless 4, and I don't really know what I'm going to be doing yet, but I'm going to kind of just wing it. I have also got this Revolution glitter, this silver glitter, which I might add, I might not. I don't want this look to be too dramatic because it's only like 12 o'clock right now, so you know, I don't want it to be too dramatic, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go in with this shade here. It's kind of like a muted pinky shade, kind of like almost like the blusher that I used. So I'm basically just going to pop that in the crease of my eye. The Revolution eyeshadows actually perform really nicely, some of them. I actually do really rate the Revolution eyeshadows. I think they're really good and they're really inexpensive. I think this palette, I actually have had this palette for quite a long time, but I think it was probably about £8, so like really cheap. I would say they're probably not the most long-lasting eyeshadows like on the eyelid that I've ever used, but for £8 you can't really complain. So I'm just building that colour up in my crease. I just want it to be nice and intense. As I said, don't really know where I'm going with this, but we will soon find out. Right, so once that colour is nice and sort of built up on my crease, I'm just going to go in now with the exact same shade on a small brush. I'm just going to run that along the lower lash line. So now we've got that pink shade on, it's looking quite bright, which I don't want this look to be too sort of like bright and festival-y because I am going out today, so I don't want it to be too much. So I'm going to go in with this shade Next Door, which is a little bit more muted, a little bit of a darker brown. I'm going to take that on a clean brush. This is a Real Techniques one, and I'm basically just going to press that on the outer corner. I just don't want this look to be too Barbie pink and bright because that's not the vibe I want to go for today. So I'm literally just putting that kind of on my outer corner just to sort of deepen it up a little bit. We have got a tiny little bit of fallout underneath here, but I'm sure it will wipe away just fine. And then I'm just going to go back in with that first brush that we used and blend that all together. Right, now I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is kind of like a shimmery kind of bronzy gold colour. I'm just going to take that on my finger and I'm just going to put that right on the lid. I would actually say in this palette, because I have used it before as well, that the matte shades in here are actually better than the shimmers, which is really weird for more inexpensive shadows. Usually it's the other way around. I actually find that the mattes perform amazingly and the shimmers are just a little bit like meh. Like they're alright, but they're definitely not like anything too incredible. Right, so I thought my camera was recording, but it wasn't, so that's annoying. I literally just put some of the darker shade that I used on the outer corner underneath the eye, and then I've just used a little bit of the highlight shade that we used on our face, and I'm just putting that in the inner corner of my eye, just to sort of brighten everything up a little bit. Right, I did buy this gold eyeliner from Revolution Pro, which is the Supreme Pigment Gel Eyeliner in the shade Gold. And I might just put this in my waterline just to sort of add a little bit of a different kind of dimension to the look. I don't know if it's going to go, but if it doesn't, we can always take it out. So okay, that literally doesn't even show up in my eye. That gold did absolutely nothing, so we're not going to use that. I'm going to go in now and do my brows. This is the brow product that I picked up, which is the Revolution Pro Microblading Effect Precision Eyebrow Pencil. And I wanted this in the shade dark brown, but they had none in stock. So I picked up the shade Ebony. Hopefully this isn't too dark. It's like a super skinny pencil with like a little spoolie on the end. I guess they're kind of copying the Anastasia one. Oh, the spoolie is really nice. It's like a really nice spoolie. So I'm just going to go in and fill my brows in. Okay, so it's definitely a lot warmer than what I'd usually use. I do find that with a lot of more inexpensive drugstore brow products that they run so much more warmer than like high-end ones. My brows are very grey. They're not really like warm brown at all. They're very grey. So this colour is not working for me at all because it's like literally looking red on my eyebrows, which is not ideal. I'm just going to do a little line under my brow there. In fact, I'm just going to do a line under like the whole thing because my brows really need doing at the moment, so I'm finding it hard to find the shape. Okay, I'm definitely not obsessed with that brow product. I feel like it's made my brows a lot more blocky and a lot more drawn on than I usually go for. If you're into that kind of more drawn on brow, then you'll probably really like this, but for me, I like that really natural kind of fluffy brow at the moment. It's not awful, but it's just not my colour for starters. It actually probably matches my hair quite well, but it's just not the sort of colour that I would usually use. I'm just going to quickly do the other brow off camera, and then I'm going to put some lashes on off camera as well. And then we're going to come back to finish off the lips. Right, so as you can see, I just applied some lashes off camera. These are the GW lashes in the style Princess Lash, and they're honestly amazing. They're £2.99 from Savers. I got these from, and honestly, they're some of my favourite lashes. They're so easy to apply. So yeah, I think the eyebrows look a little bit more kind of okay now the lashes are on, but I'm still not obsessed. I just feel like they look a little bit too drawn on for like what I'm used to and what I like, but it's fine. Unfortunately, I forgot to get a lip liner from Makeup Revolution, but I do have a lipstick. So this lipstick is the lipstick in the shade Greatest, which if you watched my Charlotte Tilbury dupes video, I sort of said that this was a dupe for the Pillow Talk lipstick, which I still think it is. It's a very, very similar shade. I actually gave this one to my mum, so this is my mum's lipstick that I just stole out of her makeup bag, but I'm literally just going to apply that. But I'm just going to apply this now. I think it'll go really well with the eyes actually, because it's quite a neutral shade. Right, and that is it, guys. That is pretty much the finished look. So this is my full face of makeup using only Makeup Revolution. I actually really like the way it's come out. Other than the brows, I think everything else is really nice. I'm not sure on the foundation just yet. I still feel like it looks a tiny bit cakey on my skin for what I personally like, but it's not awful, and it is definitely wearable if you like that more full coverage look. It is a lovely foundation, just a tiny bit too cakey for me. I'd probably mix it next time with a slightly lighter foundation. So yes, if you did enjoy this video, then please be sure to give it a like and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That would be amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.